What's good? What's going on? Shout out to all of my great ones worldwide. It's your man King Nabby the Great. Today I have a movie review for you for a film by the great director Guillermo del Toro. The film is titled The Shape of Water. Without further ado, walk with me. Now, to give you a quick synopsis of The Shape of Water, it's an interesting film. It's a period piece. It takes place in Cold War era America around the late 1950s, early 1960s, and it takes place in, I believe, somewhere in Maryland, close to Baltimore, Maryland, in some kind of military science lab. It stars Sally Hawkins. She plays the main character, who is a janitor at that facility, and she's a mute. She can hear, but she can't speak at all. Some kind of accident happened where her voice box is done. Her vocal cords were cut. She has scars on her neck. She cannot speak at all. She falls in love with this amphibious human type of creature that they have detained inside the laboratory, that they're fighting over. The United States and Russia is fighting over this creature because this creature may be the key to the future, to life on Earth, to all types of things. So they're trying to figure out what to do with this creature, and through her curiosity and through some other happenings, Sally Hawkins' character is able to meet this creature and they fall in love. Now, I have mixed feelings about this film. First of all, I'll give you what I loved about this film. The direction, the blocking, the camera movement. There were so many parts of this film, so many scenes that were just continuous shots where everything flowed together. It was masterful work done by Guillermo del Toro, directing and blocking this film. The performances from the actors and actresses were done well. Also, I enjoyed the fact that it got across the point between Sally Hawkins, who's a mute, and the monster who doesn't speak, any kind of human language. How they were able to communicate just through hand signals, through sign language. They were able to communicate through music, which goes into the point that, the universal music is a universal language, and that we can communicate with each other and we can vibe off of each other and even fall in love with each other, even if we can't speak the same language, because communication of the heart and the soul goes way beyond the spoken word. And I enjoyed that element of the film. That was probably my favorite element of the film. Now, this is what I didn't like so much about the film. Although this was masterful work as directing by Guillermo del Toro, I don't think it's his greatest work or one of his greatest works overall. I feel like, okay, it takes place in Cold War era, therefore that brings up certain things. And this is one actual good part of the film, is that the metaphor in the translation that they're figuring out what to do with this misfit, quote unquote, this outcast from society that may be a god. Some people, where he was found, they were worshiping him as a god. And then you take a group of cultural misfits. You have Sally Hawkins' character, who is a mute, so she's handicapped, she can't speak. Octavia Spencer's character, who's black, a black woman. You have Sally Hawkins' neighbor, played by Richard Jenkins. He's a homosexual. The people who are quote-unquote outcasts, or the misrepresented people of American culture and of Western European culture in general, are also the ones who have the most heart, and also the ones who are able to see beyond just what this creature looks like or what this creature can do for them. They just want to take care of each other and spread love throughout each other. That's beautiful. However, I think the execution of it was, Now, the reason why is because of these characters. Michael Shannon's character encompasses the bad parts of white society. There's no real depth to him, to his character. He's a caricature. Octavia Spencer is basically playing herself. She's playing a character that she's played in a few movies now, and it's you know, it's cool because we love Octavia Spencer. I love Octavia Spencer. She's a great actress. I like seeing her on screen, and it's cool. But in the context of this film, it's like, okay. And then she has the husband who's like this mad, weak dude who just, you know, so you have that, like, destruction of the black family. That's a whole nother video to get into. But that was kind of, you know, like caricaturized. And then, as I said before, it's a blend of genres. So you have the romance, which is a big part of it. You have a Cold War political type of thriller, which is injected into it. And then at the same time, just because of the nature of the creature, there's a sci-fi element within the film. I feel that it was done well. It was put together well. However, I just feel like that certain elements of the story, there were no depth to them. They were because you're mixing so many genres, or because I guess maybe you're trying to fit these things in, there's not a lot of depth to a lot of these different sides. You don't get a lot of depth to the Cold War side. You don't get a lot of depth to Michael Shannon's character. You don't get a lot of depth to Octavia Spencer. You don't even really get depth to anyone else except for Sally Hawkins, the main character. You kind of get depth with her and some development with her, and you kind of get depth with Hofstetler as well, and you kind of can see like the human side. But each person is just playing a caricature and not playing a character, if you understand what I'm saying. They're not playing a human being with different emotions and different layers. They're just playing a representation of a certain thing. And that's kind of my knock and my drawback on the movie. Overall, I'd have to say that it was a masterfully done movie. I can see why it was nominated for plenty of Oscars, because artistically it does well. I think that it could have done much better as far as going into depth of these characters and making this more of a deeper movie. Even if you maybe take out the Cold War element and just have that, you know, have it as a side note. We know what time period we're in, but go more in depth into these characters and into why they act the way that they do, besides them just being that type of person, that stereotypical type of person. They were playing kind of stereotypes as opposed to playing people. On the emoji scale, I have to give it an okay 0.75. Just because I think it's masterfully done artistically and as far as the craft of filmmaking. However, I think as an overall movie, I don't think everything connected. I don't think, as far as writing, I don't think there was as much depth to the characters as there could have been. I think Guillermo del Toro fans, some of them may be disappointed because there's not as much of the violence and the fantastical element as maybe as you would want from him. And as much of, you know, the action and all of that from him. I think that certain people who are like super art house film fans may not have gotten as much art house as they wanted. I think it kind of toed the line between being an art house film and being just a straight romance and being a period piece and being this. It was just too many things. So I'm not sure who exactly I would recommend this film to. Excuse me. I'm not sure who exactly I would recommend this film to, what type of movie watcher. But if you just appreciate good filmmaking, good directing, good visuals, I would definitely recommend this film. Please let me know if you've seen the film. If you have, let me know what you think of my review, what you think of the film yourself personally. If you haven't seen the film, let me know if, you know, how my review influences your decision to see it, and come back after you've watched it and let me know what you think after that. Please like this video if you like it. Please share this video. Please subscribe if you enjoy movies, music, and entertainment as much as I do. It's your man, King Nabby the Great. Be great in life, and life will be great to you. Sé grandioso en la vida, y la vida será grandioso para ti. Creativity, abundance, and prosperity to all. And I'm out.
Mafioso, mafioso, mafioso,